Alright, hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Today I guess we're gonna check the XSS contexts. So this will be the main topic for today. Also we will check for polyglots. Those two things are really important when you are hunting for XSS. At least understanding some basics of it, it's pretty useful. But before that, let me quickly check some audio settings because I think my video is a little bit laggy with the audio. So just wait a couple of more minutes and we will start soon. Okay, hello, thank you for joining. Glad to see you on the stream. Let's maybe wait for a couple of more people. Alright. Hi, Barakat Mall. It was nice chatting with you after the stream. Okay, let me check. Okay, I guess I gonna review those things after the stream because I don't know, video and the sound is little bit lagging from each other. Maybe because I'm streaming with the two main to the two sources at the same time, so that's why it could be internet. Not sure why it's that. I will try after the stream probably. So alright, so as I said, today mostly I have selected already a couple of articles which is worth for reading, continuing on the cross-site scripting. So let me quickly switch the screen. So the first article is on the parts figure. It's on the same XSS pages, but this time we will be checking XSS contexts. I think this is the best area where you can learn about different XSS contexts. And I did some of homework as well. I prepared some labs. So we will be exploring multiple different contexts and how you can escape them. So let's read this one first. When testing for reflected and stored XSS, a key task is to identify the XSS context. So the first way to see where this XSS is happening is the area in the web page itself, where this could occur. So the location within response where attacker controllable data appears, any input validation or other processing is being performed on the data by the application. So I will show you from the defensive side on the code itself how also those different areas could look like and how attacker could try to identify it. At least from the attacker's perspective as well. So based on these details, you can select one or more candidate XSS payloads and test wherever they are effective. Note, we are built comprehensive XSS cheat sheet, so I really recommend checking this cheat sheet. It's really useful to help testing web applications and filters. You can filter by events, tags, and see which vectors require user interaction. The cheat sheet also contains Angular JS sandbox escapes and many other sections. So I can quickly show you how the cheat sheet looks. I actually already shown that, but it's basically you can select the tag, for example A tag, and some event handlers, even the browsers, and or like even all events. So firstly, you discover which HTML elements is like possible for like your current target, and then you will do some filtering. For example, for A tag, if you check all the events, and firstly you want to check for those who does not require user interaction, because the impact is usually higher with those. And you can also like close, and those are that do require user interaction. So those are basically the payloads you can copy and basically try in your browser, or maybe in the Burp Suite as well. So what you can do also, you can copy all the payloads, paste it to the intruder. That works as well. But right now, you just need to know that this do exist, and it's pretty useful. So we will just skim through some of the different contexts where the XSS could appear. So first context is between HTML tags. When XSS context is between HTML tags, you need to introduce a new HTML tags designed to trigger execution of JavaScript. So usually those are just very simple payloads like this or this. So they have their own labs where you can practice it. I have also created some of the labs. I prepared the web server, so you can see there are multiple labs already. It's running on the Apache server. So I tried a couple of things already. So let's remove the XSS SVG file, because and let's use localhost right now. As you can see, it's running on the Ubuntu, but let's open lab 1. Alright, it's not working. Oh, because it's under XSS labs directory. So I have prepared like some simple labs just to explore the context. As you can see, this is like where you can place the name in the input field, and it is being reflected back to you. So if we inspect the element or just view the page source, it has some styling, other head tag things, and in the body there is the form which allows the user's text input, in this case the name, and then it's being like reflected back. But we don't see any client side like backend code. So we can only, when we do not see the JavaScript who was responsible for like reflecting back, it means it happens at the backend, and we can only predict if it's vulnerable to XSS or not. So let's also explore these labs using VS Code. Alright, this one, maybe let's use code as regular user, but then I won't be able to edit everything, but that's completely fine because I tested those before. So as you can see at lab 1, it's also pretty much the same, but the only difference that we can have PHP code, and as we can see, it will just echo out the parameter name from the get request. So it will be just reflected back, but any sanitization will not be applicable here. So that's why it should be vulnerable to XSS. It doesn't use any HTML attribute sanitization function. So it's just an example of very simple XSS. So if we close this, and this, we can check, for example, first injecting tags, italics tag work. We can try injecting simple alert, and we can see the alert works. As well, we can just inject those things here as well. So yeah, and if we review the page source, we can see it was being injected between two HTML tags. So we can see, as the title says, basic XSS in HTML context. It means by between couple of HTML tags. So this is really simple lab, and this is really simple context. This is one of the first contexts that we learned already, but there are way more of that. So, and I'm not sure if we will be able to cover all of those today, but we will try as much as possible. I have prepared like 5 labs fully, so we will see. Because I also want to cover about polyglots and context, HTML, like XSS context, are pretty related things, so I guess we will explore both of those. So XSS and HTML tag attributes. When XSS context is into a HTML tag attribute value, you might sometimes be able to terminate the attribute value by closing tag, introduce new one. For example, right here, this is like when you just escaping the HTML attribute. So more commonly in this situation, angle brackets are blocked or encoded, so the input cannot break out or the tag which it appears. Provided you can terminate the value, attribute value, you can normally introduce the new attribute that creates scriptable context, such as event handler, for example, like this. So this is not the only way to do it. You can also do autofocus and set like event handler. Sometimes adding script tags could be filtered out by the web application firewall, so you won't be able to do this. But if you've seen that it's happening inside the HTML tag, this could work even though the script tags are being filtered out. So this is really important, because there will be cases when you are inside HTML element, so it is pretty good area to start out. And again, the lab, I have lab 2, so it is XSS in attribute context. The title as well, XSS in attribute context. It has image URL as the parameter here in the form, and we also have some of PHP code which will basically be inside the image right here. So we will get the image URL parameter from our form get post data, get request data, and that will be used in the backend to reflect it right here. So if we review this lab, let me quickly go to this lab. We just paste anything here. It's becoming, we can view the page source. You can see that my garbage, just random string things are being ended up here. But what we can do, we can try injecting double quotes. So for example, if I inject double quotes right here, you can see it's being escaped right now. So there is 2 ways how we can approach that. If we remember right here, I either could close the current tag and do a script alert like this. So if I get this, we can see right here the alert should fire. So if I copy this once again and paste it right here, you can see that's showing up the alert, the proper alert. And the second way of doing it is escaping also with double quotes and doing some event handlers inside the same element, and then closing also. So we can try this as well, like right here and just copy probably. Oh. Okay, this one probably. We can try other stuff like instead of autofocus we can do like we can do on error, and maybe do not even close this. All right, let's do it in the single quotes. Yeah, and we just needed to add some single quotes. So as you can see, we just break out the context of HTML attributes right here, and this is the where our payload was placed actually. And we can also add double quotes to like normally close our payload as well, because sometimes even closing payloads could be interesting area. So all right, let me quickly check the chat. Hello J Ray. Hello Lemon, nice to see you joining. Today we are learning about HTML contexts. I shown the second context, which is in the attribute context. So the single quotes is because we are in the double quotes. So I think because this will like close our XSS won't fire if we use this, but we can try, for example, using like this. No, I think it won't work because we are inside the quotes. Imagine, that's why it's not working. Like let me quickly show you, because right here we are injecting the code, and if I use double quotes it shouldn't escape all the characters. So if I could show you the lab itself, you can see right here we are just injecting our payload from the URL. So imagine this is our like payload, like double quote, alert, like one error alert, and we close those tags as well. So this is being injected here, or we can like do space and equal like random equals this, and this will look pretty normal. So if I do, for example, like copy this payload, maybe even like this, if I copy this payload, you can see it's happening. So like it was like this. I guess I'm gonna create the GitHub directory, just if some of you might want to play these labs as well, but there are a lot of way better labs, but I just wanted to show you how it looks behind the scenes as well. But the labs on the Portswigger are way better for sure. They have way better user interface, so I guess that's pretty good. And I cannot edit this one. That's clicked on save. I have a couple of more labs prepared as well for this. Yesterday's code, I am not sure if I do have this, because it's not it's not the best. Like yesterday I was pretty it was not the best day for me. But today's code I have prepared. I did my homework. It's way better, so I will include today's code and probably provide the GitHub link. I guess I will place that GitHub link in the Discord chat somewhere. so you can easily find it. Yeah, it's way better day today. So I'm way better for the stream today. So all right, let's continue. So XSS into JavaScript. Let's see other lab that I actually have. I don't think this is the same. Oh yeah, it's in the JavaScript context, so it's the same. So it will happen. It could happen if there is some kind of JavaScript functionality, and for example, this is JavaScript, and this is like the area where user controls data. So this is where you can inject the code, but what you need to do is also like either use single quote or double quote, close the JavaScript, and then you can insert your JavaScript functions like alert and blah blah blah. So this could be pretty easy as well. So, or what you can also do is like close the script tag, so it won't read something here probably, but you will just basically close and use other stuff. So there is also a couple of ways to do that. So just to show you, I have a lab 2 for that as well. So if I go to the lab 2, lab 3, so you can just enter the username user123, and it will just reflect back the user name. But as you can see right now, we have from the attacker perspective, the script tag is happening at the client side, so that's why we can see actually what is happening. If we look in the source code right now, we can see on the browser. So I wrote user123, it is being saved into the username variable, and that username variable is being used between those two tags. So we can try escaping right here. I do not even need to show the code probably, because everything is happening right at the client side. So we can check real quick, but yeah, everything what we saw in the browser is actually happening right here. There is no, okay, maybe this code, but basically you can see that it's being reflected. And if I, for example, try to escape like this, we can try escape it right here as well. Yeah, it's being escaped. And that if I, for example, do this like this, and I could try injecting script alert script, yeah, you can see, let me do close it as well right here. Okay, as you can see, I have closed this one and I created new script and basically inserted alert function. So if I copy this right here, yeah, the alert fires. So this is how you break, this is one of the ways how you break out of JavaScript content. Of course, it's really basic. The real world applications will be way more harder to see, but we will progress bit by bit, I guess. And like other way how you can escape that context, you not necessarily need to create the new tags. So if, for example, I can do this, right? I could do this probably, like var equals x equals this, right? So right here I can inject something. So I could, for example, do alert function like this, or I can even, instead of this, do comment out the what happens after the line. So this won't do anything because it is the how you do the comments in the JavaScript. So we can try this payload instead of all of this. So it also works. It's also working. So it is pretty good. But sometimes there could be double quotes, other stuff. Maybe you need to skip even more things. So like you need to review the like what is being reflected manually. You have to practice those skills when you are doing bug bounties, when you are testing, when you are practicing. You have to practice escaping the context. It's really important skill, and sometimes there will be a long chain of context. So there is prepared way how you can escape different contexts, and I will tell you a little bit later, like how there is like prepared copy paste way how you can escape many of those contexts at the same time properly. So alright, this was the third, and I have the fourth lab. I think that is in the JSON response. So I'm not sure if this do exist on the ports figure, but let's see. Okay, JavaScript string. So this way we all like also shown. Sometimes you can use those, or maybe double of those, like how it's called, backslash, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they have. There are like way other contexts where you can like explore. Not all of those I have prepared, but I have prepared for the fourth lab is in the JSON response. So I have this lab prepared by ChatGPT. It's not necessarily the right one because it should reflect JSON as this lab state, but it's not actually reflecting one. So let's explore it first. Let's go to the lab for PHP, and if we just type, yeah, it does not reflect the JSON, but actually what's happening in the script tag is like simulating JSON response via some kind of API. But I haven't created the database, so it's like it's simulating something in the script, basically, like right here, as you can see, and it's taking username input from the form, basically its value, and it's running fetch data function, and it's returning JSON response, but it's actually placing the JSON response to the output right here. It's really basic JavaScript, so you don't actually need necessarily to actually view from the server side, because everything is happening at the client side. Once again, I don't see like any PHP functions here. Everything is JavaScript basically, and right here you can try multiple stuff like injecting some tags, but this is not working because this is actually returned in the you need to escape those. Let's firstly, like the good idea is just view page source and just copy your string and see where it's being reflected. So like if I do right click, you can see it's being reflected right here. And what about if I use some kind of I tag? It's nothing. What about if I try escape like this and try then? And what about if I try escape like previously, like this? Okay, let's see this one. Alright, But what about if I just use this payload? Okay, it's not actually doing much. Let's try using a couple of more like this. Huh. Alright, let's see. User plus this. I see that's being reflected right here. So let's use this. Escape. And then close the script tag. Open another. And just do alert. Okay, I think. Alright. Something is not right here as well. Well, also, every time, technical difficulties. Alright. I'm not sure why it's actually disappearing. Let's try like this. Username. Like this. This. All right. Okay, I kind of lost, but sometimes what's good to do, we will learn about the next topic. What you can do is manually try to research what is being parsed right here, try to inspect the source, try to see where it's like it breaks and where it's not breaking. And you can also use some kind of scanners, XSS scanners, to escape the context for sure. If there is no WAF present, what you can also do is use some polyglots, and we will gonna learn about the polyglots and how those polyglots work. So basically the polyglot is a multiple ways at once when you try to escape different contexts in order for JavaScript to execute. So this is like I have couple of articles prepared who will explain what the polyglot is, but basically before doing like SVG on alert, they also using the mixed case, we are also trying to escape a lot of context. Sometimes there could be just a JavaScript scheme. This is how you do the comments, like multi-line comments, and break the sequence. You can like escape this character, this. Sometimes the like this way how you can comment out some data. Like there are a lot of ways to escape the content, so they are adding everything right here. On click alert, this will just use the alert when you try to click. We can try on load as well. Execution wrapped invoke in parentheses. Okay, what this does is a single line comment as well, like different way to do the single line comment. It's like, I think it's URL encoded, and this is also the sneaky way to escape multiple tags, just in case if your XSS context is ending up in the multiple tags. Of course, you can add even more tags. There is like no script, which is actually popular. Text area is present, but I think I have something in my notes like no script, no embed, template, like multiple ones. So this is like you escape some tags as well, and you also try to inject, like execute alert function via SVG tag. So like it uses onload function, and on load it will execute alert function. And this one is also try to comment out just in case after this there are some JavaScript code present. So if we try to copy this, for example, and try to use it right here, okay, it's still not working. Perhaps my lab is not working properly. It could be as well, or I haven't exactly showing the event. Let's do SVG on load, or maybe just do image src equals on error, like this one. Yeah, now it fires. Sometimes you just need to play with multiple HTML tags to just escape the context. And sometimes mixing characters will also not work, because I'm running Apache server, just plain simple Apache server, and I think it doesn't understand if you just mix the cases. Like right here, I think okay, it's working, but it does something but actually not working properly. So yeah, this is one of the easier cheaty ways to do that. But as you can see, the payload itself is pretty long, so have this in mind that polyglots take a lot of space, especially if you are doing some extra stuff at the top of it. If you are just doing some URL encode of all of that payload, it will be even bigger. So if we just count how much characters we do need this, so it takes 152 characters for this payload alone. So imagine if you try using this on your name, like first name and last name input fields, it won't probably be possible, because there are a lot of there is limit. Like usually the name and like first name and the last name will have like 50 characters maximum. So in that case, what I suggest is use like word counter online tools and try to reduce something like maybe try only the comments like this. This is also a closing HTML comment. So this way your like payload will only escape the comments. And we can also delete this. So it's 52. Okay, maybe just escape those. So your payload will be 50 characters right now. You will try escaping some comments, but you can also try escaping other stuff, like right here, like escape some tags instead of comments, like style tags, title tags, things like that. You have to play with it. You have to understand how it works in the nutshell, basically. But this link I will probably paste it to the chat as well, just in case if it's for some of you it's new thing, you can explore it yourself. Like try to understand how it really works. But basically it just tries to escape everything at once. Let me paste it to the chat. Polyglot. Alright, nice. Okay, so yeah, so it also explains which context does it cover. So HTML contexts, like double quoted tag attributes. For example, if your context will end up in the input field, the injection will happen right here. If it end up in the single quoted tag attributes, like in the input field, and your value is right here, unquoted, if it doesn't have any quotes, that could happen as well. If it's inside the HTML tag without any quotes. And unquoted tag attributes with HTML escaped values made require click. So in this case you might need to click on the element. It does require user interaction, so have this in mind. Sometimes if there is a link like a tag and there is a href value, in this case the JavaScript will work because it will work as the scheme, and your scheme will try to either inject something right here or will try to, I think it will work with this one, but I could be wrong. Like this is really a lot of things working at once, so I'm not like completely sure, but I think this will work with alert, if I'm not mistaken. And it could also work in this math, in the iframe. So the source would also work with JavaScript probably. If there is some kind, if for some weird reason your context will end up in the HTML contents, I think this one right here will close the content and then try to inject the payload from here. So it will also work just in case it will end up between those two. So as you can see, with this one payload at the top, you can escape so many things at once. But keep in mind, web application firewalls for sure. Those usually know the most common polyglots. So sometimes you need to just edit something, like try escaping other tags, or maybe just going one by one, like as I shown you before, like firstly try escaping comments, then try escaping certain tags, and just one step at a time, just go like manually. Sometimes, yeah, it could help as well. So HTML comments, arbitrary common HTML tags. So yeah, it is escaping the HTML tag right here, like this one, and right here I think. So it's the payload will start right here, and there will be like closed with the title, the style as well, the text area, div. I don't see div right here actually. I'm not sure if this truly will work. Script context. So in case if your payload ends up inside the JavaScript, as I shown you before, this will also should work. If there is like certain parameter being set it up, it will like escape your double quotes right here I think, and afterwards this payload will be actually executed in the single quotes as well. It will be escaped from here, and everything afterwards will try execute code multiple ways. I'm not sure about this. I don't have too much knowledge about JavaScript. I'm not the best at it. I just know some stuff for sure. Something is also string raw. It tries to escape that probably. Regular expressions even. Oh my god, I haven't thought about this one. Yeah, so and single and multi-line comments. Okay. Not sure where this one is being escaped, but probably with this one. Not sure. So as you can see, it's pretty powerful thing actually to use, and there is not only one polyglot, but I'm just showing this and as an example. And I have another article actually. So by Brute Logic, it's article from 2021, but still I guess even today it's pretty useful. So it's about polyglots in general. So I guess I'm gonna read this article, and afterwards I will spend some extra time with the chat in case you have some questions, and for today I guess it's gonna be enough, and but we will see. Yeah. So XSS polyglots are quite popular among beginners and lazy XSS testers since they only require to single copy and paste. Yeah, copy pasting payloads also work. So, but I know people are even lazier. They rely on tools to do everything for them, but that's not necessarily all the case. Sometimes you actually need to do copy and paste everywhere you go. This will work even better compared to like just using, I know, tools like Dalfox, uh, even the brute logic tool like brute XSS. But still, um, although doomed to be easily flagged by any decent filter or web application firewall, they can be useful to spot the most of XSS cases out there. So what you can do as well, instead of using script tag, you can try like smaller polyglots, create your own customized polyglot, but just for HTML injection first. So you can try multiple, like spotting multiple things, like doing comment and try to do like each one tag a, like close each one, maybe try 7 times 7. Sometimes this could be a result of 49 as like client-side injection, and like try multiple of those, like 7 times 7, and like close that with those. So this one is like checking multiple things, if the HTML injection is happening and if some client-side injection is also happening, because there are a couple of frameworks like AngularJS which are like vulnerable to that, and this one is also, you can check for template injection. So this like multiple things where you can check at once. So this is really interesting, and it's not taking too much space, like 46 characters in this case. So yeah, here we will try to build a cost-effective XSS polyglot with least amount of characters possible. I like this one. I like this one because he knows, what produced this article, that there will be sometimes the limitation of characters, and the maximum and the best XSS cases we can come with. We will also add some key elements for validation and some basic evasion tricks. To test and validate our polyglot, we will use our new default test page XSS gem. It is designed to provide a common environment exactly for the type of XSS construct in order to make understanding easier. I wonder if it works or not these days. Okay, it's working. That's pretty cool. A polyglot payload is some payload that triggers for different vulnerabilities or context. So not only for the context, as I shown, like you can check multiple things at once. And you can also use polyglots to check RCs, check SSRFs as well, like at the same time. So it's sometimes it could be good, but have in mind if it's being used like if there is web application firewalls in place, you can trigger them pretty easily, like trying multiple stuff at a time. So have this in mind for sure. Okay, you can find an example of the former here. Okay, let's check this. Oh, okay, it's even older one, and he has the post, so it's pretty good. Okay, this is like he's escaping couple of things, and he's also trying RCE, I think. Yeah, netcat. Been at ncat, but I guess for me it's better just using curl command, because netcat is not all the time available for most of the operating systems. So this is not necessarily the best, but it's also like doing blind XSS plus RC. This one is pretty cool. All right, so let's see. Some polyglots for XSS were made in the past, but we will bring the new one based on same logic of those, but adding new tricks discovered for XSS. Some only published here in very blog. Attention, this blog uses different formatting and this affects some characters, especially quotes and dashes. Don't just copy and paste payloads from here without replacing them, or use the payload in the tweet at the end of the post. We start by choosing the core of our work, the payload that triggers the simplest HTML injection context. Alright, let's see in our lab if it works or not. Okay, it's not working here. Is it working on other labs what we have? Let's see. In username, yeah, it's working in the lab 3, so we're gonna play right here, I guess. We use an arbitrary XHTML tag K from XSS, but pops the alert box automatically with the help of content-editable and autofocus HTML attributes. So I guess content editable and autofocus, both of those are actually usable to support the event handler on focus. So on focus, where your, oh, that's pretty interesting. He's not using any like single or double quotes right here. That's pretty interesting way to use alert, I gotta say. The arbitrary tag in combination with this handler work on Chromium based browsers, while for Mozilla Firefox there is a need to use another HTML element that supports those attributes, the input tag, at the time of publishing. But right now it's working even on the Mozilla Firefox, so that's pretty cool. So this is also polyglot. It's even shorter, and that's pretty cool. So I really recommend reading Brutal Logic blogs about polyglots. They are pretty useful, even though it's pretty old, but as you can see it's still working, and I'm using the newest browser of Firefox. So yeah, another choice here is mixed case and closing alert keyword. Yeah, the mixed case here with pair of parentheses, both aimed at basic filter evasion, cost effective. We pronounced by adding the next set of tricks to cover some needed injection scenarios, those which require the breakout of current pair of HTML tags, both opening tag and closing tag. So right here, he's just adding some escapes for other tags as we've seen before. So he's also escaping iframe using mixed characters, uppercase and lowercase, like multiple stuff at once. This is how you build your own polyglots, basically. Just adding more and more, but you don't need to add every tag as much as possible. Just the most common ones right here. There are some HTML tags that require that kind of breakout, but those are main ones and our choice here. Notice there is no need to use this character for every tag, just one at the end, since our payload will land just one of those and all of those will be ignored. So yeah, basically you don't need to like put this like before even like every tag. It will help for all of those. So he's explaining that pretty well. Like I really recommend. This is really good content. We will just fix that little syntax error for inline HTML injection with the comment, the JS comments, needed for escaped JS injections, along with pair of brackets to allow correct code evaluation, like minus sign, like minus alert. Finally, another pair of comments, like this one, to end comments opened in the initial string delimiter breaking. The JavaScript parcel will ignore any other opening of comments while closing one is not found. So this is for like crazy stuff happening here, but basically what he is also doing is closing some comments. So as we've seen in like previous polyglot, he's adding that as well and adding some brackets right here. So if we try this as well, copy this in our payload as the username. It will also work. Let's try at lab 4 maybe. This is a little bit harder one. It's not working right here at least. All right. Okay. In that way, the first quote or backtrick that breaks out with or without backslash escape, the escape will start multi-JS comment section with this one. That will end with the first this one. Right before the alert code. It's then commented out with these symbols, because we cannot really guess how to fix the syntax afterward. Also, there is no other way for escaped cases. Right, so he's basically escaping everything here. He's even tried adding some blind XSS payloads. He's doing a lot of stuff. So like, to read everything here, it will take some time like to explain, and it's really hard to read everything on the stream. But I guess I will also paste this to the chat in case you want to check this out as well. So like, check this link as well. It's pretty good. You can see there are a lot of posts by this guy. He's really passionate about XSS. We won't be doing that much of XSS because I do hunt for other bugs as well, and I don't like go too deep. This is like crazy. You can spend years going into JavaScript alone, but this is like one of the tip of the iceberg areas where you can like go from if you want go even deeper. So like, constructing polyglots is also like, sometimes like you have to try practicing constructing your own polyglot, because this is like the good way to practice your WAF bypass skills as well. And we will also try focusing on that as well. So I guess for the next stream, probably I will set up some web application firewall, and I will also show some rules, how you can bypass those rules as well. This is one of the things that I planned, or I will probably play with some CTFs as well. So for this week, I guess tomorrow we will see, like, either we will play CTF or maybe I will show you like a couple of things as well. But those are just basic introduction to polyglots, and I guess that's gonna be it for today, unless you have a couple of questions. I have like 5 minutes or so where I'm also could answer a couple of questions, so just drop it in the chat. Unless there is something complex, so I'm not sure if I can answer everything for sure. So yeah, alright, I see no more questions. So guys, have a nice remaining day or night, and have fun hacking, and see you tomorrow. Bye.